Hey, I see people. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here and thank you so much for tuning in. So, today I'm going to continue work on my lovely muse. Let me see, make sure that she's in camera here once I check Twitch. Alright, I guess she is. The thing of it is, what I see on Twitch, I see more in Streamlabs than I do on Twitch. So, she may be walking off the screen here and I don't even know it. So, I hope everyone is well. Feel free to ask whatever questions you want about mini painting, life, or anything else. I love to chat while I work. And I found I actually can keep an eye on the channel, which I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do. So, ha ha ha, Pete the Priest. Guess what? I'm not putting in my channel point rewards. I do have not the best hydration thing either, but I am a Coke addict. Boom. I know, what is it? You won't hang out here if I don't have a hydrate button? I said, the one thing I said is, when I paint, I really just kind of want to paint and keep an eye on chat and talk. I don't really want to, sit and disrupt what I'm doing by drinking 5,000 times, because I know downright well you'll do it every 2 seconds. I guess you can put limits on it, so who knows, maybe Pete the Priest, maybe just for you, I'll add a hydrate thing. But I will put limits on it, on how long people can do it, or whatever I can limit. I'm still figuring out this whole, Twitch thing. So it said, this is my muse. She's going to be a giveaway once I actually hit affiliate and she's done. And that may be pretty much the same session, the way things are going. You guys have been incredible. I'm absolutely stunned that I could make it in the minimum 7 sessions. So I have no idea how thankful I am for all of your support. Pete the Priest, I'm not that bad. It's normally every 10 minutes. Hey, Paul GM. Oh, yes, and hello, Mini Mommy, and anyone else who's lurking. And I love you lurkers, too. Because God knows, even though I love to chat, I am a lurker myself because most of the time I watch streams when I'm at work and I have to lurk, which makes me sad. Hey, Ball GM, are you going live today? Because I don't remember seeing any posts in the Goblin things, but I haven't been back there in a bit. And by the way, since I know it works, I'm going to do a little shout out. Because I have to kind of... Oh, if I could do it. Oh, at. Alright, pardon me. Well, yeah. So, follow this guy. He's just starting out too. And he's just started out like me. And I love his stream. He's great to listen to. Great to watch. I think my favorite part about your stream is I love how you take 2 minis or multiple minis and you paint them different ways. And I think that's such a great thing to show your viewers. So please follow the Ball GM. And we're going to rate him once this is over. So you won't have to go anywhere. You'll just have to refresh your screen. So yeah, Pete the Priest, you should definitely follow him. And I guess we'll all put hydrate on there just for Pete the Priest. It'll give him a reason to come on here. Although I hope he likes my chat. As I said, feel free to be snarky and funny because as I like to say, I have a fully loaded snark rifle sitting next to me that I will use if people want to, be like we are on Michael Mortar's stream and be terrible people. I'm the worst. So when looking at this, I'm going to start with this. When looking at this, I realized that I didn't quite cover the whole upper part of her dress. Reaper bones, man, Reaper bones. At times, they can be very hard to figure out what's what. Okay, that's better. So ball gym, that's my Wednesday. Duo stream. Table paint a oh, okay. Table paint a frost giant. And at Pete the Priest, the coffee is running. A few more minutes. Although Pete the Priest prefers you to hydrate with water, I think. I think were you the one that someone asked? I forget which stream it was. If you had like stock in a water company, bottling company. And thank you, bot, for reminding me. So we're doing a community, the Goblins of Mortar, or the Goblin Army of Michael Mortar. One of our members, one of our Supreme Commanders who got all the way through the Goblin Paint Challenge. He is running a community paint challenge, or community paint along. That's why I wrote paint along. So it is the Reaper's Spirit of the Forest. Basically, pick a copy of that up. I put the link up to it right there. It's not an affiliate link. I haven't bugged them yet to actually, become an affiliate of theirs. But I will in good time. I just want to make sure the stream was going to fly. But basically, I also put the info on the about section of my of my page here. It gives you some details, but basically during the month of July, I will be painting him. He came in, so I have him. I have the metal version because I'm thinking about trying to paint him up to competition level. But I'm going to paint him up on the stream, and if you want to paint along, that would be awesome. I would love to have some people doing it with me. And then when you're done, I said you could post it up on Twitter with the hashtag Theraval and Friends 2. Or if you don't have Twitter, you could always find a way to send me the picture. You could probably DM it to me here. You can find me on one of my socials. I've got the links all on this page. So Twitter or Facebook. Or Instagram I don't check too much. But Twitter or Facebook, absolutely. And you can get me the picture, and I'll post it for you with credit to you, obviously. Because I want Mr. Theraval to see how many people he's inspiring. And for the record, I am definitely I'm thinking about it. It depends on time and such, but I want to run a winter challenge that's much in the same vein. He only does it during the summer, so okay. So I fixed that. Pete the Priest said, Goblin Squire, who I adore Goblin Squire, asked that. Haha, any hydrates are good, helps with concentration. I get headaches when I paint for a long period of time. I haven't drank. Yeah, some people do, but I don't. I'm the worst when it comes to hydrating in reality. Basically, I'll hydrate here mostly to prevent myself from coughing a lot because I have a perpetual cough. Thanks to my family. It's some sort of a hereditary thing that we all have. Alright, so what else do I want to do? I'm going to go back over. Basically, I'm just kind of glazing a purple color on this. I want it to be sort of translucent. I want a little bit of the blue to stay in there. Just because, to me, it ties it a little bit. It ties it more with the fringe. I did this really quickly at the end of stream last time, so I wasn't particularly careful. I may go over this. So the wet palette does keep the paint so you can use them later on. And believe it or not, this is from my palette from the last session that I'm actually using. I had to, water it down. But I don't recommend doing this. I need it as a glaze, so it's really thin anyways. But pour out new paint each session. It'll keep it for a bit, but I also find the paint tends to spread out. And, it doesn't stay real good. It comes out really thin. But for this, I don't mind so much. Because the top, maybe the bottom's wet, but the top does dry. Oh, actually, well, this one stayed somewhat thick. I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to just touch that up because I am not digging that. Come on. Cover. So how are you all out there anyways? I hope you're all having a good Saturday. I love Saturdays because I get to sleep in. When I'm doing choir, it's the only morning I can sleep in. But I haven't had choir, and I hope I can get back into it next fall. Because we are definitely going to start up then. Okay. Yeah, I'm really glad. Yeah, I love the fact that the squid emotes there, those are just a thing. They don't have to add them in. I'll tell you what, I can't, as I said, there's the reasons why I can't wait to get to affiliate. I can't wait to actually start creating some things to have, I want to have badges, and I want to have some emotes and fun things. I want to do fun things for channel points, and maybe even hydrate Pete. I'll tell you, I can throw it out to the chat. I would love ideas on things you would like to see. So, what would you, if you were making, doing things with channel points, and what would you do? What would you see for rewards? I think I also want to do that soundboard that I keep seeing, but I'm going to take that friggin' horrible scream off of it. Alright, I went a little much on there. Just to show that I am not perfect at mini painting. I touch up too, like everyone else. But, alright, but feel free, post it in chat. What do you like to see? Because I'm very curious. I wanna put stuff that people who come here want to use. I already have some of the commands. I have a lurk command. Actually, if you hit the slash key there, you'll be able to see what they are. So I know I have lurk. I have one for the mini too. If you want to know what mini it was, it's like exclamation point mini. Hydrate. That's all you need. No. I want the soundboard though. I do enjoy the. I do enjoy a lot of the sound effects on that, so I just don't like the scream. By the way, you're going to make me hydrate just by writing the damn word. That could be dangerous. Alright, I'm going to let that dry. Now, I've been sitting there thinking, looking at this mini, trying to figure out what I want to do, because she's got like a ruffle on the bottom of her skirt. And it's like, I should paint that a different color. I know I painted it the purple like the rest of the dress, but I'm thinking I might go with something. I mixed that green, and I think I found a close color to it. This isn't too bad, and if worse comes to worse, I'll just paint over the top part. But I think I'm gonna paint Mass Explosions Has Fun. As long as it's not too sudden a sound, like I'm good with all the music stuff, and my problem is like really sudden noises I don't do well with. Yeah, I have my my hearing is, well, forever it's been overly sensitive. So gunshots, balloons popping, fireworks. Fireworks aren't as bad though because they're actually lower and more concussive. But but even then they can get loud. I used to play piccolo. I can throw the piccolo into that. Actually, I'm going to move, let's see, I'm going to take that brush and that brush for now, and I'm going to move the rest off to the side. We don't need all these. But as long as the sound effect isn't too sudden and it's going to make me jump while I'm painting, I will probably throw it in the pack. Everybody has Pete, oh my gosh. Pete the priest is being quiet here. Alright, so back to painting. But that's, some things I like to do. I said I want to come up with some fun emotes. I'm thinking of stealing an idea that I suggested for Michael Mortar's page and having one that says moist. Because that's a thing in the Goblin Army now. I'm thinking I want to buy a cowbell. I forget which chat we were discussing this, and I'm like, I feel like I need one that says more cowbell, and I'll actually buy a cowbell and I clang on it. I've noticed some very interesting things that people there's one streamer that has that is not a bagpipe. That's not bagpipes. Okay, so this is a different color. So maybe I'll go back over it. So I was like, and I forget where I was discussing, and I said, we need one that says more cowbell. So I might have one. I did say moist because, you know, I'm one of the worst offenders of that because I know it breaks people. Moist. So that's why I want to have a moist emote. I haven't decided who will get access to this, whether or not you'll have to pay for the privilege or not. I'm thinking not. I would like to actually keep some of my emotes free. Don't, Pete, by the way, Pete, I will tell you right now, and anybody else listening, please don't, I do not offend, like, at all. I'm 50 and I don't give any, you know, I don't have this set for mature audiences, so I've got to edit myself in the language. But you get the point. If it's in good fun, absolutely. You are more than welcome to toss things that will make me laugh. And a lot of things make me laugh. You know, I know. Don't worry, Pete the Priest. I am not offended. And feel free, you can use moist because it is, you need to join the Goblin Army, man. You would fit right in with our band of miscreants. All you have to do is chuck Michael Mortar $1 a month on his Patreon, and you're in. And there's a Discord for that. And there's definitely some very questionable conversations that go on there. It's too bad. It's too bad you missed the other night because Michelle, who's one of the other, Ball GM can attest to this. Michelle was one of the other co-conspirators of shenaniganry there. Really? GLGM, really? Did I miss those? Wait, what did you miss? No, Pete, trust me, you won't get banned. Wait, those emotes? Or what did you miss, Ball GM? I'll be happy to clarify and see if you did miss something. Or is it just the emotes that you just posted? Yeah, no, Pete, we've said some pretty awful things on there. You would not get banned. Wait, is that a goblin emote? That is like a goblin emote. Shoot! Yeah, I didn't see it either. We need to totally, we need to spam his channel with that when he's on. And any other goblins. But yeah, as I said, if you want to be funny here and you want to take shots at me, I said, don't be mean about it, okay? Just keep it in good fun and keep it light and funny. But as I said, I got a snark rifle, fully loaded, always sitting next to me, that I am not afraid to use right back. And keep in mind, I only pick on people I like, and I pretty much like all of you, so basically, alright, so basically say what I'm doing, because, you know, this is a painting stream, and I should actually give instructions now and then. Basically I'm going over this, so I want to try to smooth that out. I probably should let it dry a little more. It's acrylic paint, I know it dries pretty quickly. So this is just the base coat. I am going to lighten this up a bit too. This is what I'm putting in the cracks. Crack! Ball GM, no, you were saying about the awful things we said in the Goblin Army. Did I miss? Possibly? Did you see the comment? Let's see. I believe there was the conversation about meat in there. That was totally double entendre in general. That was a few days ago, though. Boy, if we can find times to get to get it, whenever we're bad. I mean, it said me and Michelle are the worst. Garrett, was it Geralt? Geralt, he's pretty bad too. Of course, Renegade Shank. I think he's the worst. He's the ringleader. He is absolutely hilarious. He made Michael Mortar stab himself with a pokey tool. With the pokey tool. Pokey stick! That's one. I want to do an emote for the pokey stick. Because I do use it on this channel. I'm going to have two pokey... Oh, shoot. I just dropped the pokey stick. No! Oh, the pokey tool. It's pokey tool. So I have the original pokey tool. These things are awesome for getting the... for unclogging these bottles. I find I actually can use them to sculpt with too. I mean, that knife, it's got a really good sharp point. But don't ever stab yourself with it, because it does hurt. You can make yourself bleed, and I know from personal experience. But basically, that's what happened on the stream. Michael was using the pokey tool, and Shank said something really inappropriate that made him laugh. I mean, he was painting the heads of Tiamat. So, heads. Think about that for a moment. I know you all probably corrupted and can probably figure it out. And he made a comment about, no, I'm not gonna say it because it's that crosses a line on here. I haven't figured out the limits of what's good, what is good taste and bad taste for this channel. But he made the comment, and Mr. Mortar, he just jabbed himself and started bleeding. And he said, all right, I will say, he said, bastard. And he's supposed to have a stream like this, which is more family friendly. There are no kids here, right? Anybody's got kids listening, let us know, because I will definitely edit myself. I think everybody knows after some uses that pokey tool hurts. Yes, it does, Ball GM. Bad things that all many painters go through. If you own a pokey tool, I think that's jabbing yourself with it is one of them. Washing your brushes in your drink or drinking. Well, I've never drank my paint water, but I certainly have washed my brushes in the drink. Fortunately, usually there's not a lot of paint on them when I go to wash them, so I just continue drinking the drink. It's not toxic paint. Yeah, well, it says only this 50-year-old here's kid. Well, me too. I'm like 50 as well, so... Wait, you're 50, Ball GM? I know, Michael turns 50 in a couple weeks. Shh, don't anyone say that. No one knows, right? You are not 50! But actually, that's cool. There's a whole club of us that are 50-year-olds. So I'm going to go around again. This time, said just to make sure it's covering. I can see purple here and there. Ball Jam. He is 6 months younger than me. I turned 50 last... Oh, okay. So you're the oldest of us. Hey, I'm not the oldest one there. That's great. I turned 50 in May. And he's turning 50 in July. I think he's going to have some special birthday giveaways, too, on his streams, which is really cool. Here we go. That's looking better. That's looking better. I just keep telling myself the only difference between a good painter and a great painter is the amount of times you screw with the mini. Take that and double entendre that, folks. Where's Michelle? Sadly, I know Michelle can't make Saturday streams. She can make Wednesdays. Because it's me, and then after that it's Daryl who streams. What Sunday? What you thought? What was Sunday? Pete the Priest? Oh, no. Oh, God, don't say that's today's Sunday. I mean, I just, my work week was long. I don't want it to be Sunday already. Plus, if it was Sunday, I'd be, well, actually, when the stream ends, I would be playing, Pathfinder. The first mini I painted on the stream, the first hero I featured, was Yento, and he's our halfling druid shifts cook in that game. And this week is game week, so I am excited. I love all the games I'm in, and I'm probably in too many games, but I'm in 5. Thank God I got an awesome husband who makes sure that I can do all this. They're taking care of a lot of things. But he said he gets me to paint minis for him, so there you go. All right. I'm glad today is not Sunday. I'm going to be sad when it is Sunday. All right. Dry. So I like that, but I definitely want it to be a bit lighter. So when I paint, I always start with the darkest tones and the most shaded tones first. That sort of also goes with the whole thinking you paint from the inside out. Because if you paint in crevices like this, you can catch your upper surfaces. Now, granted, some cases, like when I paint flesh, I am painting this before I painted this. So it doesn't always, the rule doesn't always come into play. But a lot of times, I like to paint from the inside most parts out. And same thing here. I want to paint, this inside part first, so I don't have to go back into it and then risk catching, this. Now, some people, that's just the way I work. That's not the way that it always works for everyone. There are people who will put a base coat and then they'll shade it. And then they'll go in afterwards. Sometimes, actually, I'll do that. I'll do that if I'm using a wash. Like I do a very directed shading thing rather than washing the whole thing. Obviously, if I'm washing the whole thing too, I will obviously base coat it first and then wash it. But that's a little different. If I'm doing a more directed wash, I do, especially on bones, you need a base coat because a wash will never stick. So I'll go in here and I'll just, paint just what's in there. Rather than painting the whole thing. Because I want to keep the color truer on top. If I want to tint it, washes are good for tinting, I find. So if I want a bit of a brownish hue, I'll use the Agridex Earth Shade. All right, that's looking good. Or I'll use if I want a bluish tone to, like, let's say I put down like a pink and I want to make it a little more purple and I don't really have the purple, I will add blue over it and it kind of mixes in. Contrast paints are really good to actually layer to do that way. Contrast paints, if you put one color on top of another, it will change. It will actually, like you were mixing a color, it will actually make that color. So if you put like a blue and a yellow on top of each other, you will get green. Contrast paints are interesting because I feel like there's a lot of things you can do with them. I keep finding little things to stitch it. There's a lot of things you think you can do with it that are yet unexplored or are being explored. I'm like a lot of people. I do like the the paints in those crappy pots. I'm not crazy about them. I'll get them because they're easy to find, but I'm not crazy about them by any stretch. Okay. But I love their technical paints and their the washes. I really like those. So, all right, so I want to lighten that ruffle up. I want to start making it look more like this. As I said, I may go back over that on the top part just to make it match, if I can't get it to match. Do I want to add a little blue into this hue? So I'm using this color, but I'm debating when I want to add a little bit, make it a little bit more towards the bluish side, because it actually comes out a bit on the yellow side. I think I will. Me, my old school marm glasses. So is anybody working on anything that they'd love to share? By the way, I am now I've solved the link issue. So the links. So yeah, I was for a while there. I couldn't figure out why people couldn't post links, and then for some reason, the Streamlabs button decided. Even though I remember going there and shutting it off about not allowing links, it decided to stay on. Go figure. But now it's off, and you should be able to share links. I was thinking about this. People can go and click on the link, and I urge people to do so, but I think for the sake of... No! Well, I mean, just me finishing this and blabbing away, that's what you missed. I'm saying now that actually I was asking if there's anything you're working on you'd like to share, mini-wise, or otherwise, terrain, anything crafty. I love to hear about it. The Painted Hero Tavern is all about inspiration. So I like to be inspired. I'm not sure I'm digging this color. Well, maybe I'm digging this color. Maybe I'll darken it just a touch. I'm basically taking a little bit of linny green, alchemical green, sorry. This is for more of a... I'm just going to start layering up that ruffle. I'm going to take and mixed a little bit of this blue in it because I want to keep it somewhat light, but I think it's a little too light. So I'm adding a little bit of my original color for that skirt, which is linny green. All of these... I dropped my brush. All of these are from the Pathfinder line of paints from Reaper. You'll hear a lot of Reaper on the stream. I'm one of their biggest fans. So, question, Pete the Priest. Do you paint minis yourself, or do you just like coming and hanging out and watching others do it? Because I totally get that. I enjoy watching other people paint too. I'm going to take the great Ann Forrester's advice, because I've been doing this wrong for years. I mean, my minis look alright, but I realize there's logic in what she does. She is amazing, so... You get that... Wait, you've actually painted... You've managed to paint thousands of minis? Because... And by the way, that's a serious question. I am not being snarky here. Because I know there's some people who can paint, they can paint really... I'm not one of them. They can paint really fast, and thousands of minis actually is totally valid. So you've actually painted thousands of minis, or you get thousands to paint, which is me. I have 1,500 minis to paint. But what I was saying about the tip I was told was to go, when you're doing highlights on these big ruffles, go back and forth instead of up and down. I always go up and down, probably to save time. So, because it hides the brush strokes better, because your eye tends to want to, go up and down and you'll see it. Let's see, Ball GM. He's got a Kuatoa Fisherman for Goblin Inspiration. It is Goblin Inspiration too. I should just advertise everybody's different challenges. 3 different mimics for Goblin Paint. Oh, for the weekly paint. I'm so glad you're doing the weekly challenge, Ball GM. For a while there, I felt so alone. And thank goodness some people are taking it up. Basically, the goblin paint is our king, Mr. Mortar. Once again, I mentioned. I wish he would show up because, with his ears burning like this. I'm gonna try to blend that a little bit. I'm sort of glazing a little bit of that base coat on there to just blend it in a little bit. I don't want it to be too bright. So Ball GM, wow. Alright, so Pete the Priest. I got loads of painted. That's impressive that you actually have that many painted. And I've got loads more to paint. I've got 740k armies in the Age of Sigmar and loads of Reapers. Oh my god. 7 armies. I've got like part of one. I'm going to make this a little darker. Because I feel like it's still a little, I like the color though. I know, now I'm going right back to my habit. But this is like really kind of watered down, so it's sort of slooshing off anyways. Alright, so this is a good surface to do this on. And this is a better color. You only want to go about 2 shades lighter is what they say is a rule of thumb on for layering. Layering is the way I learned to do this. There's also of course the wet blending. That works well too, I think. I'll try whatever works or whatever I feel like doing at the time. Got a little more of the original paint into the other paint color. So let's see. Pete the Priest, my Necron army is my pride and joy. My best friend is doing a Necron army. Necron, they're very cool looking, and you can do a lot with them. Although my favorite in terms of that, I like the orcs because I feel like you can do a lot with orcs considering their backstory is they're scavengers. So, they're like, one of the things is they're plant people, they're fungus. So they just kind of pop out of spores. So they, but when they pop out of spores, they pretty much have nothing. So they scavenge everything they have, and all their equipment works on belief. Okay, everything's fueled by WOG. Ball GM said, I damaged both my elbows last year. Oh, tennis elbow, and could not paint for months. Oh my god, I don't know how I'd live. So yes, I'm making up goblin paint again. It said I have a few minutes to go to get them all finished. I am 4 weeks away from finishing that challenge and becoming a Supreme Commander and getting a purple tag, because let's face it, the important thing is you get a purple tag in the Discord. But basically goblin paint, as I said, as I was starting to say, I tend to digress a lot on here. As I was starting to say is, it's 56 weeks? It's basically a bunch of 8-week stages. And you have to do a task. And then when you do finish that task, you go up in rank in the army. And the one you end up with is Goblin Supreme Commander. And he will actually send you a little bag of rewards too, or box of rewards if you actually finish it. Including he has a Goblin King mini that I think he commissioned for himself. I am so excited to get my hands on one of those because I want to paint it here. I will do PCs and heroes, but if I get like special minis like that, I'll paint them on here too. I also want to get I want to get Tommy's Clyde, Madith. I don't know if that's how you actually pronounce it, but he's made his own Dice Guardian, and he did a successful Kickstarter with it. And I can't wait to get it because I want to paint. I want to paint it on here, although I have a queue of things I want to paint on here. Everything from the Spirit of the Forest, which I said we're doing as a community paint for July, and that is going to be able to be a bulk of my July. To back to being a little too light. I want to do that. I have a whole bunch of PCs for game. Now that we're resuming back to our normal tabletop gaming, I have to now get back to painting the PCs for my games. Pete the Priest, I've only just got the time to do my own stuff. I want to do the Reaper Challenge League, but it's going to be hard. You know, it's funny. I did want to do the Reaper Challenge League, but with the Goblin Paint, which I was already involved in, I know I could cross over, but it was just too much to manage and try to do commissions and do. Oh, I'm also doing the Goblin 365, which unfortunately I did not start until February, but. If I want, I will make it a true 365, and I will paint a mini every day until next February 1st. And then maybe I'll take a break. The nice thing is, after I finish the Goblin Paint challenges, I am a little more freed up to what I'm going to paint for my 365. That right now I'm painting themes, things that have a theme to them, because there's a backstory required for this. So, but when I'm done, I'm just going to probably find, either I'm going to find sets that, I can do like the Rusty Dragon in, which is what I'm working on now, or the Reaper Graveyard expansion, which is what I worked on before. Let's see, Ball GM, Clyde is great. I have several now. Ball GM, you 3D print them, right? Because you have the pattern. Because you could have got the pattern through the Kickstarter, and I don't have a 3D printer. Well, we could hook you up, Pete. I'm trying to think of how we can do it. You could message me here. I'll have to figure out how to do it. Because we all know Tommy. We know the guy who makes Clyde. It'd be nice if he popped in. Oh wait, he knows I'm on, but he's always busy. Yeah, he's not on here. I can check to see who's been on chat. Sadly, he's not one of them. Let me get back to you. Maybe I'll kick me a friend request on here so I can find you later. And let me talk to him about what we can do, because I can connect you to him. Clyde is cool though. He's a little guy with a dice D20 head. And by Ball GM, I really, really, really dug the fact you put wings on it. You kit bashed it. And you put wings on Clyde. I was like, oh, I love that idea, but I don't want to steal your idea. I want to paint the dice head. Like, I want to pick out one of my sets of dice or something and try to match it or come close. Why does my computer sound like it's working hard? That's right. So Ball GM recently actually painted those on a stream. And I assume you have your videos on demand somewhere. Are you putting your videos on YouTube? Because make sure you save them and put them on YouTube, because they will disappear off of Twitch after 2 weeks. I had a friend of mine who streams Minecraft on Mondays, and he found that out the hard way. So he then set up a because he didn't realize it. It was only they were only going to be on 2 weeks. Unless you're probably like partner. All I know is Critical Role has like all their episodes up there, I think. So there's some way to obviously keep your videos around for a while. But I assume it's because you got to be a big streamer. Which would be a freaking miracle if that happens here. I have realistic expectations of what I'm going to get on this account. I mean, actually, you guys who followed me already and have hanging out with me have already blown me away. I figured I might have like 5 people watching, max. I would be happy with that. You know, and sometimes I'd have like nobody on here. It'd just be me painting. But so far, I mean, I've always had somebody around, and it's always been more than 5. So I am absolutely thrilled, and you guys have just been amazing. It's a really great community. Mini painters are the best community out there. I'll fight you on this. I'm just going in right now and I'm blending this a little bit. Because I can see some of my lines there, and I don't really want to see the transition. Granted, if you're painting it for tabletop and you're just looking at a distance, once again, it's the whole comparison to impressionistic painting I like to use. You're not gonna really see it unless you literally want to sit there and stare at it. But I wish MLG. Well, Goblin Squire did stop in. I would be happy if either one of them would drop by. They're both good peeps. But the MLGs, I know, they're busy. I mean, they got a store. Of course they're busy. Maybe I'll go on there. Maybe I'll go on MLG's stream and annoy them. I'm going to actually sort of take it both ways. I'm going to go... I find what's working for me is actually I go across and then I kind of bleed the edges up and down. That kind of works. And then I'm going to go back in with a little bit of the original color. Feel free to use your fingers to blot stuff. I find that kind of helps blend it in too. Yeah, there's some highlight there. I'm so glad you came by, Pete the Priest. Seriously, you are fun to talk to. A lot of other people are being quiet today, so and that's what's said. That's fine. I work myself. I don't want anybody to feel like that. I think I love lurkers less. I don't. I love you all just as much. As long as you're enjoying the show in some way, shape, or form, I appreciate it. And some people, honestly, some people are just, I would imagine too, they can be kind of, no, you're not. I mean, I've had 7 people here pretty much the whole time, so you are not scaring anybody off. Actually, that's something that's funny. I know I'm a fairly social person, but I found I was actually a shy follower because I don't like people making a big deal about me. So I would in a couple of cases, I would go and I would follow somebody when they're not streaming because I didn't want the, hey, thank you so much. I don't feel like I'm doing anything really special here. I know it helps, but I don't, I just don't want a big deal made out of me. So I'm kind of keeping the highlights a little bit, I'm not making them super bright. It's cloth. I mean, it's not shiny. So I'm not going like crazy on making them super bright. This is just my preference. Some people like to make them super bright. I also don't want to be here doing the same thing for the next, for the entire stream. Oh, the time is going by fast. It's almost been an hour. And if I feel like I want to make it a little darker, I may actually take a wash and just put it in those cracks when I'm done. So but for now, not bad. So, mixing paint. So I'm actually mixing paint to make this highlight. Because basically for something like this, if my mix is not totally perfect, I can go back and if I remix it, it's just a highlight, so it's not gonna, it's not like the base coat. You want your base coats to absolutely match if you're mixing colors. So especially when you're doing that, try to mix enough to cover everything. But when it comes to the highlights and the shadows, we've got such an influence of the color behind it. It can be a little bit more liberal. Trying to kill that transition line right there a little more. Where did I start? I started there. All right. Let's see, if I was Pete the Priest, if it was outside, I wouldn't say a word. If what was outside? Sometimes I do need to remind myself of the context. Does anybody have... Nobody... I was going to say, yeah, forget. That's fine. I'm sorry. I started going on there and forgot to get back to you. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask too. Or I said, if anybody's got anything to share or anything, any good stories or whatever. Also, if I can get more of you talking, I can get more VIP badges. I've handed a few out. One other thing about paint is that it does tend to darken a bit when it dries. I've noticed over the years. So keep that in mind too. You're eating Skittles? Wait, the Skittles typed that out? I wonder if they're trying to send us a message. So, because yeah, Pete the Priest, Stupid Skittles landed on my phone, and they sent us a message. STJKVUVUVU. Stick voo 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 voo. Is that a secret message? Should we be worried that the Skittles are getting intelligence? They can be added to the food monsters. Someone created stats for if you drop snacks on your D&D table. So I know there was like for Cheetos, there was I think one for soda, there was one for pizza. That's really scary if I think about it. I mean, they actually sent the message. All right, I see. Let's see. Come on, I want to. All right. And I'm going to feather that a little bit. I'm going to glaze a little bit of this green in the top section, just to make it match a little more. And maybe glaze a little over some of these spots here because it's a little, that line's a little harsh. Let's see, Pete the Phrase. I hate the M&M adverts. Talking sweets are not funny. Oh, come on. I like them. I just discovered who the green M&M, who the lady does the green M&M is, and I should have realized. It's Cree Summer, and she's an amazing voice actress. Also, really nice lady. Because she's done work for Blizzard, so she was at BlizzCon. Still a little persnickety here about that. I do also, when I'm catching the tops of this, I do a lot of side brushing. So I basically just try to hit it with the side of my brush, so I'm only hitting the topmost parts. I don't know why you think talking sweets are not funny. I think they can be funny. I guess to each his own, right? Looks, yeah, that and that actually glazing the color in. I still got it's still got the shadow and light because I went really thin on the paint, but it matches this pretty well now. I'm digging it. I'm hoping you guys are digging it. I hope somebody wants to win her. I hope somebody really does want to win her. Because it just wouldn't be any fun to make a giveaway and then nobody wanted her. I should, you know what? Before the next stream, I need to remember to pull up the original one I did of her, because even though this is not a PC per se, although Muse's Touch is my brand, because Muses are inspirational. I put a little explanation up on the stream now about what hero I'm featuring every stream, or an explanation of what I'm painting. And but I picked a Muse, and Muse is an inspirational figure, and I find inspiration all sorts of places when it comes to this hobby. And I like to inspire. One of my main goals of why I started doing conventions, and even a driving factor in starting this stream, was to try to inspire people to get out there and pick up a brush. But only those who really want to. I mean, there are people out there, I said, I've been trying to get my husband to paint, but it's just not his thing. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be. Let's see. I like to inspire others, but also I find all of you who paint minis, which is why I do ask if people want to post links of pictures of theirs. by all means, do so, because I really enjoy seeing what other people's work. So other people inspire me. A lot of you guys inspire me. And I learn stuff even from the newest painters because you have different ideas every day. What else? I also find a really good painted mini can inspire your character. I've had minis that have inspired me to create characters around them. But I also think on the flip side too, most people will create their characters and then have the mini, painted to that character. And that's the normal way. It's been once in a while I've got it the other way around. But I do find that, to me, it sort of inspires maybe a little more imagination and creativity at the game table. I think it inspires... I love seeing a table full of painted minis and really cool terrain. So, and I think it just brings up that level of immersion. So that's why I picked the Muse as part of my thing. Oh my god, it's a Chris! It's a Chris! Is Jen around too? He's one of my MVPs. Because I'm so glad you dropped in. Oh, so, Chris, how much did you end up getting for that fundraiser? How much did you end up earning? Oh, thank you so much, Jen. Thanks for the host. I'm so glad to see you too. So yeah, how much did you end up earning for the Trevor Project for your 12-hour insane stream? Nice, $616.26. That's great donation. And you made it to 12 hours, right? I mean, I couldn't. I had to go. I had game that night too, so unfortunately I couldn't stay for the end of it. But that's fantastic. And your stream was so much fun. Did you give away a lot more stuff? We also did a bunch of giveaways. Maybe next year. I don't know if I'll do a 12-hour stream. I don't know if I can do a 12-hour stream. But it was so much fun. I was so glad I got to spend a lot of my workday there. And great job, Chris. Absolutely great job. I know you didn't get through all the minis you wanted to paint, but when I actually sat there and calculated out what you guys actually what you were trying to accomplish, it's like you weren't going to make it. I think you would have had to spend like less than a half hour per mini, and I think that's unless they're like skeletons and you're Michael Mortar, you're not doing it. Okay? Maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe you're that fast. But, I mean, that would be... Yeah, no. So, yeah, 18, even in 12 hours. I mean, that's less than an hour a mini. That is impressive. You did awesome. And it was a lot of fun to be part of. So, of course, guys, you know the drill. Feel free to chat about whatever or ask me what I'm doing. I'm going to do this as a giveaway, by the way. We were talking about that on your stream. See, that makes it even more impressive that you get 18 done without 12 hours of actual painting, Chris. That is really good. This is going to be a giveaway. We were talking about this, I think, on your stream about giveaways and such. This is going to be my giveaway for when I hit affiliate to one of you guys, because you guys have been... I didn't think I had a chance at getting it in the 7, you have to stream 7 different days. I didn't think I'd have a chance at it, but I have a real chance at it now, especially now there's 11 of you on here, and I only need to average 3. So I'm just stunned that it's taken off so well. Shanur! Hi, Shanur! It's good to see you, too. So, Pete the Priest, these are some of my other painting friends, and these are also... Oh, wait, I got shout-out. I could do the shout-out thing. I need to do the shout-out thing. So, let's see. All right. I also am trying to, navigate around a bunch of paint between me and the keyboard. And also, looking over my glasses. I have to have friggin' glasses, unfortunately. CG mini painting. Maybe someday I will get a friggin' moderator for this channel. But so far, so good. I'm so happy to see you guys. But go follow Chris. Go follow CG Mini Painting. It loads all sorts of fun. And he's a full-time streamer. Jen joins him on the weekends because she unfortunately has to work. So, and anybody else isn't following them, go follow them. They're good peeps. So let's see. What do I want to do next? I don't know if I still am debating when I want to brighten up that highlight even a little more. Oh, thank you, Mini Mommy. I love hearing that little ring. I know someone brought up the point that I shouldn't be a shy follower because then the people don't hear that awesome ring when they're online. Yes, Shanur, I think you do know them since I believe you're their moderator. I actually think I want to go a little... I hate doing the whole... this. I feel like I'm doing one thing on this mini the whole time, but... people... the point of mini painting is so that everyone can see what it is you do and how you do it. Because, you know, I think the neat thing about this hobby is we all work differently. If you ask 100 mini painters how they do something, a technique, you're not going to get one answer. You're going to get a huge multitude of answers. Actually, I'm going to use my little brush for this. I do want to go a little lighter. So I'm putting down, I'm actually lightening that color, and I've added a little more water to it. I'm just adding water to it. Oceaner. You guys now are doing it just to make it ring, right? Just to make it ring because it's such a neat sound. I know there are like other ways. I know people use, you know, special GIFs and sound things for this, but I actually really like that little ring. You know, I'm just going to go over these with a slightly lighter. And it's fairly thin because I do kind of want it to blend in. Yeah, there we go. There's a good pop. You need food? Well, you had Skittles. You already had food. Oh, Skittles not really food. Actually, it's Saturday. I never eat much on Saturdays. I'm kind of the worst. I don't like breakfast. Right, which is probably terrible, but I don't like breakfast. I wake up, I'm not hungry. Ever. Not in a million years. Or very rarely. If I'm doing something that is taking a lot of energy, I do find I actually am hungry in the morning. But for the most part, I'm not hungry in the morning and I don't really want much. So I have like an instant breakfast, carnation. And then I don't eat lunch. Usually I wake up at like friggin' 10 o'clock in the morning too, or later. Although with the stream, I'm trying to wake up a little. I'm trying to make sure I'm up like by 10:30. But I'm a night owl, so I stay up till like 3 in the morning. I was up till 3 last night. Actually, I was painting. I was doing my daily paint. You guys can, if anybody follows me on Twitter, you can always know what time I stayed up to, because the timestamp of my mini of the day will pretty much be when I'm going to bed and wrapping things up. So you all will know how bad I really am. So, oh, by the way, Chris and Jen, I am now link friendly. I've managed to freaking kill all the things that block links on here. If you want to post anything, and I mean anything, I'm going by the policy if we can't have nice things. So until somebody screws it up by posting something that they shouldn't on here, please no adult. This is a stream for general audiences, so no, not suitable for work stuff. But if you guys want to post, if you're still lurking around, by all means, please feel free to throw up any pictures, links of pictures you got. I like to see them too. And the fun thing I find with Twitter, as much as I like Twitter, and it's got good range, is that oftentimes I don't see things that you guys post up because I'm not on when you do. I said, I don't know if Chris and Jen are still lurking. Because the other thing is, I think they should do our challenge too. I'd love to see what they do with the spirit of the forest. Or Shanur. What's Twitter? I like Twitter because I find that my picture, like the pictures of my minis, actually get seen by other people. Like I have an Instagram account, but I had it set to private for a long time because I wasn't sure what I was doing with it. So I probably will get more traction there now than I used to. But I find just I don't have a huge amount of time, so it's like it's hard to do 3 social medias. So Chris, I don't know, you might want to join in if you want. I'll post it. So basically, one of the goblins patrons, Theraval. And I don't know if you follow him on Twitter. You might, because a lot of us follow each other. But I don't know if you saw, he does a painting challenge or community painting, just a group paint. So we're all going to do the Spirit of the Forest from Reaper in July. And I'm going to paint it on stream. And basically at the end what you do, I put instructions on one of my panels here, but basically at the end what you do is you post it up and put the hashtag Theraval and Friends too, so he can see it. And Shanur, you should do this too. Because I want like tons of people. We had a lot of people do it last year, and it was really successful. Last year was the Naga. Actually, it's the Naga that's in my little, it's the Naga that's right there, actually. If I look at Streamlabs, it's right there. That Naga was last year's challenge. So this year, I'm excited because I've always wanted to paint the Spirit of the Forest. That's such a cool mini. And I went all out. I bought a metal version of it. There is a Bones version, which probably would have made more sense to buy. And it's a lot more budget friendly because the metal version's like $30. But I also wanted the free shipping because in America you get free shipping if you spend $40. I know. Well, it's also my voice is friggin' dead. I actually did have a drink not too long ago. It's probably because I abused I still got 45 minutes to go. We're going to see if my voice holds out. Alright. Anything else I want to... Alright, not digging that right there. That needs to be more blended. I think Pete the Priest, I think it's more than hydration. It's more me staying up till like 3 a.m. painting minis. And the work week I just had, it was a week. Yeah, it was ugh. Basically all last year, things were understandably slow at my company. I mean, we did all right. We definitely did okay. I mean, we do a lot of medical stuff. So that keeps going during a pandemic. And I have to be there. I worked the whole pandemic. But we hit March of this year when everything started to open back up. And it was just like this mountain of work just fell on the company. We had, according to one of the salespeople, and they know, we had a record quarter last quarter because of this. I'm so being picky. But I just want this really good for whoever wins her. Alright. That's pretty good. I am still thinking... Let's see. I'm going to take some green shading ink and I might go into like the real recesses and do a little shading. And this is great stuff for shading because it's so thin, it does tend to blend in. You don't really get as many, you gotta be careful about it, but you don't really get as many, you don't really get the transition lines. And I'm just going into the real deepest areas and hitting it. I've been wanting to do something. I call it, I don't know, I know there's got to be a name for this. I just call it directed shading or directed washing. Because I'm just totally directing it. Might do that on the purple too. So I feel like I could use a little more depth. Yeah, that looks good. That does look good. That's much more in the direction I was going for here. Alright, and then I'm going to add a little in her top part. I think I missed a spot. Maybe I did. Maybe it just dry. It's drying a little lighter. Shit. I don't think this dries lighter. All right. And you can always go back and hit things multiple times. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. I like it. Alright, let's see what else. The fun thing, actually, I also could have probably taken purple to shade that with, too. Maybe I should have. Because it would have called into... Maybe I still will. There's nothing wrong with that. Painting is... You can experiment when you paint, because you can paint anything over. Excuse me. That is like one of the best parts of painting, is the fact that even if you make a mistake... I'm going to go up. Even if you make a mistake, you can just go right back over it. If you make a mistake where you're trying to paint yellow or one of those colors that's more translucent, you'll have to paint... Oh no! Speaking of which, I bluffed, as Anne would say. I will prove that point. I will scrape most of that off. But if you're painting something really translucent, you probably want to go, you're going to want to paint like white over that area first, because those translucent colors or transparent colors, I'm going to nail this every single... This is my point, by the way, on why I paint things below before I paint things above, because I keep hitting it. I will just have to go back over that. Purple does make a good shade color for green. I also discovered purple wash also looks pretty good on yellow. Need a little more in here. Come on, stay in there. Actually, if I'm painting it down and then going back up is achieving the effect I want. Maybe getting a little heavy-handed. Alright, let's go back in. Washes also don't dry super fast, so you can have a little time to play with them. It's like I need to add a little more. Nope, actually I don't. I think that's okay. Because I don't, basically, pulling it back up gets rid of any puddling I'm finding in there. Because it's trying to puddle at the bottom of my thing, of the mini. So I'm just basically going downward to get the paint in there, and then I'm going back up to smooth it out a bit. Go back and go up in here. This one is a little harder to direct. Bones, am I right? Some of the things are awfully hard to make out. Now I wonder if that thing was a necklace around her neck. It's a little hard to tell. Yeah, it's fallen silent. I mean, people, it said, oh, I'm happy to hear, like, Chris is actually putting minis together. So, it's hard to chat and do that at the same time. I would like to think that maybe some people on here are painting along. And if you're painting along, it is kind of silent. It's hard to, you can't really type. That's why actually I'm glad I'm running the stream, so I can paint and talk to you guys directly. I mean, what else would we like to talk about? I said I'm up to talk about almost anything as long as it's all right for general audiences, or talking yeah, I know, that'd be cool. Well, there is, you can dictate. Yeah, I'll have to go back and repaint that. There's exactly why you paint from lower to higher. Thank you, Minnie, for demonstrating. Exactly why I usually paint from the from the inside out. Because this is what happens. Now that the challenge is over, I can finally paint the minis I got from Chris and Jenny. All right, so what did they send you? By the way, I feel so bad. I wanted to order all the baby monsters that CG mini painting or Chris they make, because they were adorable and awesome. But it's just, I just have so many other things to paint. I just couldn't justify adding more to it. When I add more, what I'm adding more to now is like some of the things that I just, I'm gonna get all the Reaper convention boxes, because it's, yeah, but I wanted to support you. You're my friend, Chris. I know other shops have them, but you're my friend. Oh, I am jealous. I know, I kind of wanted to well, Chris, I know you have all the patterns, and if I throw money at you, if you have time, I respect that, by the way. If you don't have time, that's fine. But at some point, I would love to have it. You can just send money if you want. Yeah, well, I want the minis back too, I'm not gonna send you money. But once again, I want to get some more minis off my shelf, since I have Bones 5 coming. And I have way too much Bones 5 coming. Yes, he had a baby beholder. I'm trying to think what... Wait, Chris, what else did you have? You had a baby beholder. You had a baby owl bear. Oh, God, I know I'm forgetting like 2 more. They were so adorable. Go let that dry. Speaking of dry, I guess I should hydrate. Here, Pete, I'm doing this just for you. to shoot myself. What was the other? Oh, I know there was at least one more iconic thing, and I think there was at least two that had babies. And I can't freaking remember what they were, but I wanted them all. I also wanted the turtles. He had a turtle bard, and it's like, I want that so bad. But I really, really, really need to, to keep working on my stuff and get some of it off the shelf of shame. Well, 3 owlbears, a beholder. Oh, there's Tarrasque, Griffin, Hydra, and the other one I can't remember. That's right. And they were all awesome. They were all so adorable. Alright, what do I want to do next? I think that's perfectly sufficient. Other than the fact I gotta keep touching up there because I still see some purple in my... But basically when you do anything, you gotta let the coats dry in between. If you start mucking it up before they're dry, you can paint a bunch of layers. But if you start mucking it up before it's dry, when it's half dry, it'll actually roughen the surface. Oh, the manticore! That's right, it was a manticore. Mini Mommy, you win! Yay! Maybe I'll just get my own 3D printer at some point and I'll print them out myself. I am planning on getting one. I am actually planning on at some point getting a 3D printer. But that's gonna wait till I have a place to put it. Once I get up into my new mini painting studio I'm going to be making out of the spare room we will soon have. She's got a belt and it's really hard to figure where that belt... I see a belt buckle. But yeah, when I get that mini painting studio, and then I gotta save up the money to actually buy one. There's a belt buckle right there. Then I'll get one. I would very much like to have one. I like working with Hero Forge. I love building minis off there. Yeah, it'd be nice to actually, just download the files and print them. Although this what I want to do on this stream, I will have some Hero Forge minis I am going to be working on because I have... if people want to commission me to actually paint their hero for them, a lot of times I get the Hero Forge ones. Although, here's the funny story, true story on Hero Forge. So we all know they have the new colored options. You can now get your minis where they 3D print the color in them. But I'm going to tell you all. Oh, I'm going to look. All right, so... what I'm going to tell you all is I had one of my recent clients got one of those colored minis and then came to me because it's just not the same as painting a mini, as a hand painted mini. Oh my God. Everyone definitely should click that link because that is adorable. Oh, I really, really friggin' want that. I love it. And it came out... Oh, the painting is so good on that. Oh my God, that's so good. Let's see what else you got. Oh, more side. Oh, yeah. All the details in the back and everything. That came out really good. And I love the colors used on it. They all work very well together. There's a nice harmony to that. I love color, by the way. So, Ball GM, I think I just noticed you have to go, don't you? Because you're starting your stream. We're going to raid him. We're going to raid him around 2:30. Maybe I need to bump. I didn't want to bump my stream time anymore. Different. I've already changed my stream times once. I don't want to change it again. I should have probably put it at 12 and gone to 2. But so I could just jump right over. But I'm on for another half hour. He's on. I think he's on now. Well, he's on here, so I don't know if you can be on 2 channels at once. We're all gonna go there when we're done. That's the plan. And if you don't follow him, follow him. I said, I love the Bald GM. His stream is really good. I'm trying to remember what the other day. He streams another day of the week, too. In the evening, if you're over in overseas, it's afternoon here. I'm going to get all my mini groups that I hang out with together at some point. So I got the Goblin Army. Because I think Chris actually knows about the Goblin Army. He knows who Michael Mortar is. In fact, I believe Chris has rated Michael before. Let's see. So Shanur probably knows too. Let's see. And I want to get the Pyro Club part of this whole thing too. And then of course the CG mini painting fanatics. I want us all together in one big family. Alright, so I repainted that. I'm going to do a little more directed shading, and I'm going to use blue. I want to darken up a little bit some of her apron. I'm still debating what color I want to do the middle of that apron. Think of it as, you want to have, some variety of color, but you don't want to go too crazy. I'm just going to feather along those lines. I think that's the other thing I've loved about all this stuff on, Twitter and Twitch and such is that I have mini painting friends everywhere now. It's so cool. From, of course, here in the U.S., Canada, Scotland, the Ball GM I believe is in the Netherlands. All over. It's freaking crazy. I've got people that follow me on my Twitter account from Japan. I'm pretty sure it's Japan. I mean, unfortunately, I don't. It's funny because one of my things with my quote unquote real job. Germany. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're in Germany, Shanur. One of the things on my quote-unquote real job is I actually do things with languages where I have to type in different, warning labels and stuff under different languages. Not that I know what I'm reading. All I can speak is English. And a tiny, tiny little bit of French that I learned when I was in high school. No hard lines. Just want a little bit right there. So, Japan, I see Japan and Chinese, their languages. And probably both forms of Chinese. I know there's a bunch of forms of Chinese, but there's 2 main ones that I come across all the time. And I know Korean. Korean also has those picture type has a picture type language too, but so I can tell Korean, but I cannot tell Chinese and Japanese apart, and you think I would know by now. All right. So 1900 is like what? 1900's like, oh, so you're 5 hours ahead, Pete. That's right, you're in the Yeah, okay, so you're this is why I run this stream, by the way, on Saturday, is so that you guys overseas can tune in, because I realize that when I'm streaming at 7 o'clock Eastern time, I mean what's that? That's 11 o'clock. I'm in Eastern American Eastern time. I live in Massachusetts. I would like them to do what they were talking about though, and make us Atlantic time, and get rid of daylight savings time. I can't stand when it's flipping dark at 4:30. Yeah, UK +5. Yeah, UK -5 in Germany. Yep, that's exactly it. So what? When I start the stream at 12:30, it's like, sorry, yeah, 12:30 at my time. Oh, well, actually, during the week, if I start it at 7 o'clock, that's what, like 1 a.m. in Germany. So it's a little late for you guys, which is why I do the stream, so that at least it's like early evening, you guys, when it starts. So you have a shot at coming to visit me. Really, that's all I want. I just, I understand that people can make money off this and things, but that's not really why I do it. I want to hang out with you guys and have other painters and even non-painters who want to be inspired to be painters on here. Okay, I want to go back in here and clean that up a little bit. It's a little janky. I'm just putting a real thin coat of that blue to try to blend it in a little better. The mini's a little rough there, so I think that's why the wash didn't come out totally smooth. But maybe it shouldn't come out totally smooth because it's got some texture in there. It probably shouldn't. It's an apron. It said the amount of people that I know overseas has been growing by leaps and bounds since I started doing this. Since I started going more public with my painting. Because I know it said I know people. Joining the Goblin Discord actually was a really good thing to do, to really gain some new friends in the painting community. I'm going to go back over this. I'm making it dark on purpose because I'm going to go back over it with a bit. I'm going to sort of glaze the blue color over it. And I want to, I want to make it dark. So that it will stay dark. Yeah, that's good. But I want a bit more of my blue color that I used on that to come back. I think that's coming out pretty good. I'm getting to like some parts where I gotta make decisions. I think I need to play the game. What in the hell is this? So one thing I find is that Google is your friend for things like what in the hell is this? Because somebody will undoubtedly have painted it before. They either can figure it out or can contact the sculptor, like one of the staff painters at Reaper. I'm sure they can find out what's what and get an accurate, and be able to accurately depict what, paint that up. Granted, there is a thing, if you want, you just paint it up however. Google can't find a blue tree. Why are you trying to find a blue tree? Pete the priest. Just out of curiosity. I'm going to add a little bit to her scarf too. I feel like her scarf's a little. That's it. So I'm curious of why you're trying to find a blue tree unless you're planning on joining our community paint and painting a blue tree. And by the way, I know someone who did. And because she was, Bunny Lovin is actually doing the community paint for that tree. And because she's going back to Texas shortly, she's still here right now. In fact, they're at a convention right now. But she started doing the challenge, and she actually did paint it blue, and it looked really cool. Knowing me, I'm gonna find a way to incorporate purple. I'm gonna incorporate purple into my tree. You know it. You know it's gonna happen because I love purple. This is why my Muse figure I'm giving away here is purple. I love purple, green, and blue together. I'm definitely on the cool side of the color wheel. I'm debating whether I want to incorporate yellow into this too, because I know it would work. It's just whether or not it's going to end up being too many colors. I may keep it this, and I may paint like this, like maybe a really pale purple. Was it no reason I got Pink Beard, who is a tree? Yeah, I mean, there's no, you can do whatever color you want for a tree. I mean, I want to take a little inspiration from, I put in Elven Forest when I was Googling pictures to try to figure out what I want to do with that. But also, I'm a World of Warcraft player, and you have the Night Elven Forest, which I believe have got, interesting color trees. And I'm thinking about taking inspiration from that. Or either that, I could always just take the mount. There's a brand new mount in the game that the community voted on, and it's a walking tree. You literally run around in a walking tree. I love it. It's gonna say you get it for free. I mean, basically at one point you just log in and you could just claim it. And I love that mount. It also makes me smile because once again, Blizzard. We have this theory. Most of my friends who play WoW. Hi, honey. Say hi, Joe.
Hello.
That's my husband's voice if the mic is picking it up. He just said hello to all of you. But anyways, World of Warcraft tree. Yeah, Pete the Priest says hi, sweetie. Shoot, about the mount. Oh, way back when on the mounts. So way back when, friends and I, we were convinced Blizzard was stealing from our ideas. We were a bunch of role players as much as we were a bunch of WoW players. We actually would just role play stuff on chat though, on guild chat. We'd just write stories and what we were doing in there. And it was hilarious. But one of the things, we were convinced that they were stealing our ideas because we had a guild hall our guild hall was on a big tree, like basically Darnassus is in a big tree, or was. I want to kill Sylvanas so bad. But anyways, we put it as a tree. And it was on the back of a turtle because my best friend loves turtles so much. He's the turtle king because he loves to main tanks in the game. So a turtle. So one of the things they stole, so they created Pandaria later, and of course that was a whole turtle that ran around with a civil, basically towns on it. Like, okay, they stole that. Originally, also, Mr. Turtle King had ripped off the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and had them. Was using them as spies against all of us, and they showed up with the rat in Dollar and Sewers. Of course, I know they didn't steal from us. That's a pop culture reference. And the Triat. So years ago, one of the guys was playing a gnome who was suspicious of druids, and I'm playing. My main is a druid. So we came up with the Druid Mobile, which was basically a Triat that we were using to get around in. So it was the Druid Mobile. Well, sure enough, in this expansion, we have the Druid Mobile. So I may even take that, but I kind of want to put purple into it. So, and I don't think there's a purple hue to those at all. And I'm sitting here now trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do on this thing next. I'm really happy with the way it's coming out, though. I dig the color scheme. Hopefully for next stream, I'll remember to actually go dig up the original, because it's very different, and it's too bad. It actually would have been really good for Pride Month. Basically, right now, I'm looking for areas to touch up to, because I don't have much left to go before we're going to raid the bald GM and see what he's up to. And I'm excited. I think that was one of the most fun things I thought about, excited about streaming, was actually thinking about going and raiding people. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a lighter color of purple, and I'm going to put to that little, I'm going to see if I'm going to do that little patch in the middle of the apron there. I don't think I got any purple in that box. So these handy Reaper painting, these boxes that store paint. And by the way, they're much better for storing paint. They also, you could store minis in it, but it's like that egg crate type of foam. And the minis, I find, just don't stay put very well. I may take a little crack in purple. And I think it's a little light, so I'm going to mix something else in that. Actually, I'll probably just mix my original color, because I want to keep the colors harmonious. She's supposed to be inspiring, not a clown. Because I just want to make this a hint darker. And if I wanted things, if you mix like some of your other colors in with a lighter one or whatever, you kind of keep carrying that color throughout the mini. Oh, of course it's in here. So, we can do this quick. I do want to be very pale, though. You know, I should really learn to just put this in view. People could see what I'm doing. This is my one bad example. I take my brush that I mix paints with, because I don't care about it, and I leave that sitting in the water. Even though that's like an absolute, you never want to do that with one of your good brushes. And I'm going to go here, and I'm going to paint this. That's it. I want this really light. Just ever so much. I may want it a little darker than that. But I do want to keep it light. Because you need to have somewhere to go to highlight things. If you start with white, you can't highlight it. That's why when I paint things that are white, I start with gray as my shadow colors. There we go. And thank you all for saying hi to my awesome husband, because he is awesome. I couldn't do this without him. He is so supportive of me and my insane hobbies. He is also a gamer, so that doesn't hurt. Looks like I kind of... This edge is really hard to tell where that... Because it's almost like... It's almost merging in with that. No, I think I got it though. Then I want to take, I'm going to just take that pure Kraken. What the hell's it called? Kraken purple? I'm going to put it on the top, on the highlight part. Let's do a little sort of wet on wet here. And mush those colors together in. No, I think I lost a bit of my dark. And I just keep working it until I'm happy with it. Paint a little smaller area. I say layering sort of like a pyramid. You start with a bigger area and you work your way smaller. I'm just going to kind of put a bit of a highlight around. My rule of thumb is if I've got a higher area above a lower area, I like to highlight the higher area. I can talk. Yeah, sure. And put kind of shadowing in the lower area. So we got about 5 minutes left. Any requests? Actually, you know what? I'm going to make the gloves this color too. I'm going to do it real quick because before I put this away. I paint everything entirely on stream. So, I want people to be able to see it. By the way, if you ever miss an episode, you want to see what I'm doing, I am putting these up in YouTube under, it's the same thing, muses_touch on YouTube. So if you ever want to see any old episodes about what I'm doing, how I accomplished something on a mini, that's where you can find them, because it said episodes disappear on Twitch after 2 weeks. And unless you guys want to, find me a huge amount of people to follow me, I am probably never going to be partner or watch. I am happy with affiliate. I'm not actually that ambitious. But I think when you hit partner, you can have a lot more. You have a lot more storage space on your Twitch for your Twitch videos. I said, hey, I'm only like 1,000 subscribers away from quitting my job. I said, in 15 years or so, or maybe even 20, I'm not sure what the retirement age is right now, if it's 70, because if it's 70, I got 20 more years to go, unfortunately. But in 20 years, I'm just going to retire anyways and do this full time. Oh, I nailed her arm. I'll have to touch that up. No big deal. Said that's the risks of doing your, more interior parts, after you do the things that are more outside as you catch it. I was trying to figure out what to do with gloves because I don't want to add a lot more colors to the scheme. A mess up, but Ann Forrester has Blorf on hers, so I don't want to steal hers. But I need something like that, I also am wondering if I should have because I know I lick my brushes, okay? I fully admit it. I find that, unfortunately, they repoint better by in my view. I know you could take and could do this, but I find I just don't get the point is good. But when I do it, I make sure I clean them off first. So if you notice, I always wash them and then I always dry them on the paper towel before I do it. So if I'm sucking in any paint, it's not much or very often. That's right, I was going to go find a skin tone. Not that one. Fair skin, okay. So I would love to have something like a blorf. And I'm wondering if I should add something that says brush licker. Licking the weasel. And mine are weasel. Come on, point. I'm a very bad example. That's what I am. Honestly, if you want to lick your brushes, you go right ahead. I would suggest clean them first. Don't just lick them. I mean, to me, you're doing it to repoint them. So it sort of defeats the. Well, that is a thing, and I admit I'm a brush licker for Pete Priest. I know it's kind of rude, but I told you, not much offends me here. But, I mean, to me, if you're going to point the brush, you point it after you clean it, not before and right before you take paint. Otherwise, it's going to kind of defeat the purpose of pointing your brush. All right. She's got like buttons and stuff on her, I think on her gloves too. They can see, they can right there. There's two little ones there. God, they're hard to see. I also want to go just a hair darker right there. And right there. And I don't want that pulling, so I'm going to pull upward. I'm just going to pull, I want to pull near the backpack there. Ha! Alrighty, it is almost 2:30. It's almost time to go. Let's go raid the Ball Jam. Any last minute questions, suggestions, anything anybody would like to say before we go do that? And when we get there, hit refresh and make sure you follow him. I think you'll enjoy his stream. I'd certainly do. Drink. Fine, I will drink. See, you don't even need a hydrate button, Pete. You can just ask. However, if I'm really doing something, I'm not going to drink. I'm going to just finish and then I'll do it after. I'm pretty happy with her. I said I hope you guys are too, because somebody's gonna take her home. Oh, just the way that's gonna work. All right, so this is, I believe, my 6th stream. So I'm giving you guys a heads up because you're here. This is my 6th stream. You need 7 streams, 50 followers. Obviously, I've gone by that. I'm at now 76 followers. But you need 50 followers, 7 streams, 500 hours or 500 hours, no, 500 minutes or around 8 hours. And you need to average 3 people a stream. And I've done all that. The only thing I'm missing is 1 more stream. And so that means I'm going to hit it after Monday. As long as people, well, even if people don't hang out, I think I've got enough of an average to, in case, you know, don't get 3 people. So then I'm thinking I'm going to do this giveaway. She should be done. She's either going to be next stream or on Wednesday. So I'm thinking, this is only a heads up, maybe next Saturday. Because I want my, I want people over in Europe to have a chance at this too. I know I'm not going to be able to get everybody. Sorry, Michelle. I know you can't do Saturdays. But I'm trying to figure out what the best way to handle this is and give, the most people a chance. But you have to be on. You do have to actually come on here and register. I'm going to use the Streamlabs, the contest thing on it to do the giveaway. Hopefully I'll figure it out. And you can take her home and she can be inspiration to you. So I actually really the funny thing is, like, the things I've been painting for giveaways. I did a beholder too. If people are on Twitter, so I did a beholder giveaway there when I hit 1,000 followers. And I liked it so much I bought another beholder because I plan on painting it that way. Same thing here. I actually really am liking this color scheme. I may need one for me. Alright, it is slightly after 2:30. It is time to go. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all for anything you have done, be here, talking, not talking, lurking. Everybody, you all matter. You're all wonderful to me, and you're all helping me get there. And I have one more stream to get there, so I can't wait. Have a great one, and let's go raid the Ball GM. So let's see. Minnie Mommy, thank you so much for being here, and always thank you for being here, like, right at the beginning, too, because you give me someone to talk to. If I can type it in right. I'm so glad I'm streaming. I've got to thank you guys for being there. More than me. I'm enjoying this, and it's because of you guys, so can't say that enough. Alright, here we go. Let's go raid the Ball GM. He needs some people, and please follow him when you get there. He's trying to get to affiliate too. And away we go!